We'd like to start out by thanking our valuable sponsors. Sense of Satisfaction by Cricket is the place for all your fragrance needs. Plus, she's got products to heal what ails your skin and your hair. Shop at scentsbycricket.com. Special thanks to our valued sponsor, John Travis, a financial coach and certified Kingdom advisor with Richard Young Associates, a registered investment advisor. Thanks goes to Anna Patterson, my sister in the Lord who faithfully gives to this ministry every month. And to our newest sponsor, LaToya Gerard of Preach the Word Worldwide Network. She is a valued sponsor and a major encourager regarding this ministry. We need and would love to have you as a sponsor. Absolutely no gift is too small. Please note the info regarding giving throughout and at the end of the show, and help us spread these testimonies around the world. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the viewpoints of our sponsors. It's time to hear the story, make the connection, learn the lesson, and gain the wisdom. Are you ready? Let's get charged and be changed. The Sister Speak Brother Break Show. Conversations on grace, healing, and deliverance. This is Marcy Bush. Come on, let's journey together.
Oh, now it's like this is ours. The land is ours. The mobile home is ours. So now we're working on, cleaning it up because it wasn't that bad off. It's just they took some stuff out of it. So we cleaned it up and got stuff moved in, and we moved in. And I'm going to church, then going around like you said before I even got Troy. Going around, some of my cousins was like, "Can I go to church with you?" Okay. Which means they're spending time with me. Right. And I'm showing them this guy, this father figure. Right. Taking time out with them.
I remember. So let me ask you this. So where did you encounter, again, all of the choir anniversaries and everything, so it may have been there, but where did you first encounter Pastor Presley?
Choir anniversary.
Hezekiah Presley.
Choir anniversaries. Because I remember where I would sing and then the Shinettes would have to sing. And then it would be like, okay, who are these? Who are these people? Because what they're doing, it does something to me. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I watch this. Now me and Terry, we're a member of the same church. Right. It got to the point that with the Shining Stars, I would say, Terry, when I get through singing, I'm easing out. And I'm finna go to 278 to the Shining Stars. And I'm finna hear Hezekiah Presley. Cause he's doing something. My life is taking a different turn or something. I would sing, get through singing, I would leave. I would ease in. By the time I would ease in, Pastor Presley is preaching. And he would make the comment, boy, I know y'all ain't out of church right now. And I started doing that. Then it got to the point, and I'm like, okay. I went to Reverend Ingram. This is after a couple of services. I went to his house. I said, Reverend Ingram, I just want to let you know that I'm finna join the Shining Stars. I said, it's nothing you've done. I said, the church is fine. I said, it's just now the pull on me is different. I said, that's about all I can say. It's different. And Reverend Ingram said, I appreciate you coming to me. He said, so man, go and do what the Lord is telling you to do.
Oh, praise God.
And he says, if you get some free time, come by and see me. So when I listen at Bishop saying to new members, if you're a member of another church, I'm like, okay, I understand that. Because that's what I did before he even told me to do that. It was just to me out of respect. And that's when I became a member of the Shining Stars. But not when they was in the house. I became a member of the Shining Stars when they first moved on Pine Law Road. I was just always still sneaking out.
Gotcha.
Coming up to the church.
Gotcha. Now, so I remember hearing Bishop say too that you would come by and get the boys and take them to church somewhere. Get his sons.
And this is how that started. Because now I'm searching. Something is pulling me, I'm searching. Even when I would come by, because now I would even do this. Hey, Nez, y'all, can I sing with y'all? I don't know the song y'all practice. I ain't went to no practice. We had a choir anniversary. I would sing with the choir that I'm supposed to sing with. And then when they say the Shinettes, I would come up and say, hey, can I sing with y'all?
Okay.
They would be like, sure.
Okay.
Then, so now I'm singing with them. So now I get to know some of the younger people.
Okay.
And so now when we would go to different churches in Augusta, because I'm searching, don't know I'm searching.
Right.
Don't even know I'm searching.
Right.
So then that's when I got to know Terrell and Jeremiah, Bishop's son. So they would ask, hey, can we go with y'all? Because they wasn't having services every Sunday.
Okay.
So I would be like, sure. I talk to your parents and stuff. We'll come by and pick you up. Okay. And we started there.
Okay.
From that.
Okay. And I think even listening to you is just coming to my mind in this moment that so many times we end up trying to find purpose and when most of the time, if we're just totally dumb to what we're doing and we just be, you were just being who God made you.
Yeah.
And people were drawn.
And that's it.
And out of who you were, hey, can I do, not thinking about it no long time, but hey, can I, sure y'all can go with me.
Yeah.
And out of your being, it's like your purpose was tied to it.
Yeah.
And without even knowing, okay, I'm searching for purpose, or I'm trying to do this, you just became it. You just evolved into it. And like I said, we sit back and we think, what can I do? Be you. And being you is what has moved every portion of your life.
Yeah.
It's just being true to who God made you. So you ended up at Shining Stars. What did that look like when you fully started coming there every Sunday? Or back then, well, I know when I came along and you were there before me. I know it was like each Sunday at I think 11, but third Sunday was at 6.
Yeah.
I'll be so glad for that because I started doing what you were doing. Didn't know. But I remember when I got my first taste, I was like, oh God, this is what I have been longing for. And I remember I would go to church. Now, I wasn't bold enough to leave after we said, I would stay till church was over. But soon as church was over, I head down those stairs, go to my car, and hightail it to Pine Log Road. Like, please don't let them be over. Please don't let it be over. Please. Yeah. And it was just like, it was this pull, this desire, this thing where you just wanted to know God greater.
Yeah.
So once you got there on a regular basis, how did your life start to transform?
Once I got there on a regular basis, my life really started changing. Because now, okay, this is what I've been longing for. I don't went from different churches, going to churches and churches and churches. Okay, my ear is to Bishop. Oh my gosh, what he's saying is changing me. What he's saying is drawing me even more into my purpose. Not knowing.
Right.
And then, like I said, then he speaks this word, and I go to this lady's house. Well, let me ask you this,
because before that, didn't he say like you'd grab his Bible or you'd do something? So were you armor bearer before you got Troy? Okay, so how did that transpire?
But watch this. Like he said, I was doing that without a title.
Right.
It was just okay, I'm just Doug and I just want to, okay, you're preaching and I just want to make sure to try to make this as easy as I can for you. And I just started taking him in the back, making sure he was good and helping him back there. Watch this. Now, this is a story. This is a part that most folks don't know. Because by now, I'm singing with Terrell and Inez then.
Okay.
I'm on the choir.
Okay.
It was getting to the point, Marcy, when Bishop would walk out, because we would sing right before he would preach. Bishop would walk out to probably go to the restroom right before he preach and come back in.
Right.
I'm supposed to be singing and I'm watching him. It gets to the point that I says, okay, y'all, he's walking out and I'm supposed to be singing. I'm not going to be able to do both. So I says, I'm going to get off the choir.
Okay.
So I can be with Bishop.
Okay.
That's the reason why I had stopped singing.
Okay.
So when Bishop walk out, I'm walking out with him.
Right.
Then making sure he's okay.
Right. Okay. And what's crazy, I know for me, like I never seen no armor bearer. So, and like you said, it's without a title. But
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Right. And we all us Baptist church, we did not know.
Yeah.
But that's amazing that and it feels like the Elisha thing where like, oh, you ain't gonna leave me. Where you going? I'm going. I got you. I'm right behind you. I'm with you. And that is just amazing because had you ever seen anybody in that capacity?
And if I have, I didn't pay that no attention.
Right.
Because even the different churches that I was going to, I don't remember someone doing that. And if they were doing it, I don't remember.
It didn't influence you.
Yeah.
Wow. But God did it.
Yes.
So you got off the choir. You're doing armor bearing for Bishop.
Yeah.
Was he? And of course, again, like we said back then, it was Pastor Presley.
It was Pastor
before he came into the bishopric. So was he doing a lot of traveling? Were you traveling with him then?
Yeah, I started traveling with him then. Cause watch this. Cause now, even like when I had Troy, by the time I get Troy, I'm still staying with my mom.
Yes.
So what made it easier for me, I would say, well, Mom, Bishop is going to such and such. So I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
You got Troy, and see by now I got Holly too.
Okay.
So my mom was watching him,
Okay.
and I would call if it was like a overnight trip. I remember calling and saying, "Hey, Mom, how the boys? Okay, they good. They don't came in," and I'm like, oh, "Okay."
Okay. So let's take it back then and let's walk through this thing with Troy. Because Troy's brother that passed away, and for people that don't know, Troy Williamson, it was like the first boy that you took in.
Yes.
And helped raise.
Yes.
So let's talk about how we got there. His brother, were you doing any things with his brother before he passed?
This is how that came along. I remember going down to my uncle's house on Petticoat Johnson, and that's where Troy they live on Petticoat, right down the road from Kelly's.
Right.
So I remember going to my uncle's house, not knowing this is the Lord, because why would I be at my uncle's house at that time? He comes out and saying, I don't want that boy back at my house. I'm saying, I wonder who is he talking about? So he's telling his son, because them children steal. I don't have them in my house. He said, no matter of fact, I'm finna go up to her house right now and let her know I don't want that boy back down in my area at my house. He don't even know it. He gets in his car, I get in my car and follows him.
Okay.
When he pulls off to where they stayed, I pulled off into Kelly's gas station.
Okay.
When he went and talked, he talked to Troy's mom, and he pulled off. When he left, I pulled in.
Okay.
And I knocked on the door because I don't know Shirley's name.
Right. So your uncle pulls off, and you cross the road and go over to their house.
Go over to the house. I knock on the door. Now, Troy's mom, they come to the door, but I don't know Troy.
Okay.
Comes to the door.
So you don't even know the boy that your uncle is talking about.
Well, he says the name.
Okay.
So when I go to the door, when he leaves out, I knock on the door, and the parent come to the door.
Sure.
And I say, hey, how you doing? I said, I would like to speak to Roy. And Shirley said, so what did he do to you? Because the conversation that she just had with my uncle. So it's like, I said, oh, he didn't.
Roy is the brother.
Yes.
Okay.
So I said, oh, Roy didn't do anything to me. I just found out that he was getting into some trouble, and I would like to try to see, can I talk to him and encourage him? So she says, oh, okay, so he didn't do nothing to you? I said, no, ma'am. She said, well, I'm going to sure let him know. And so I came by, and I met him. I said, hey, man, I was hearing you was getting into some trouble. So I would like to invite you to church. Invite you to church to try to encourage you. And I would come by and check on you. So every time I would come by, he wouldn't be there.
Okay.
And as time went on, one day I was coming down the road, and he was coming out we was getting back close to 270. I was coming down Silver Bluff Road. And he was coming out, walking through a path in the woods. And when he saw my car, because I would constantly go down there trying to encourage him, trying to talk to him. When he saw my car, he turned around and went back in the woods. And I said, okay, God. Because now it's to the point I'm aggravating him. And I can't help people if they're dodging me. I said, so we'll just stop going by the house. So I stopped going by the house because now, now it's clearly you're dodging me. And once I stopped going by the house, as time went on, he stole a car, and he went joyriding with some boys, with 2 other boys in the car, and lost control on a dirt road, and he got killed. So then, I don't go by the house no more. So then that's when Bishop sends me saying, after the funeral and stuff, let this lady know that she won't lose another son like that. So I go down there and talk to her. And now later on, Troy tells me the story that Doug, when you would come to our house, if Roy wasn't there, you wouldn't pay none of us any attention. You would just leave. So now I'm going down there to tell her that, and now we get into trying to spend time with Troy. And so once we do that, when Bishop says, and I'm telling this lady that, and so Troy was getting in trouble, so I said, well, okay, we'll try to talk to him. So then the thing that Troy did, that he started spending time with me. And I did something different. I say, okay, I want to invite him to church. Maybe that won't throw him away from me. So I started saying, hey, what is it that you like to do? And we'll come try to pick you up and spend time with you. So he was like, okay, I like to play video games. I said, okay. So I tell you what, Saturday, Pastor Presley has to preach somewhere. When he finished preaching, I'm going to come down, we'll pick you up, we'll go play some video games. Okay, so the service, it took a turn. That service took a turn, and we had church. So it took a turn and it went over. So I went by the house, and I basically almost like I stirred him up. So I said, hey man, I said, it's just too late to go somewhere. I said, the service just took a turn. And I said, I promise you next Saturday. He was like, okay, yeah, right. So the next Saturday I had to make sure I was there. So I was there. I said, here I am, man, here I am. So let's go. We're gonna go play some video games, and then we'll do McDonald's. Then I bring you back. And it went from there. Spending time, and then all of a sudden, I would go by picking him up after church. We would go by the house. I'll be like, hey mom, this is Troy, so we're gonna spend time with him. And then all of a sudden, Troy, as time went on, Troy was like, y'all got an extra room. Can I spend the night? I said, well, man, we'll have to ask your mom about that. I said, because we do have an extra room and you can sleep right there. And it went from there. Now, watch this. I'm still working at the mill. I'm not in the school system yet. I'm still working at the mill. And so then when I would get off, I would go check on Troy and stuff like that. And then the days that I'm off, he asked, could he spend the night? So I said, okay, because we got that room. And then all of a sudden, I'm doing volunteering at Red Cliff. Now, here go the journey. When I look at how God is doing this thing, The principal at Redcliffe says, Doug, we have a boy in a wheelchair. She said, you are so good with the kids. She said, he's going to the middle school, and now they want a male to be his aide. Won't you apply for the job? And I'm going to recommend that you get it. I was like,
now, what made you volunteer at Redcliffe?
Working with these kids.
So there were some from the community that you would see and
working
so
with these kids.
Okay.
Working with these kids, I would go down there and I would tutor. And it was getting to the point, the kids was like, you coming back tomorrow? I'm like, no, I can't come every day, y'all. I have to be to work at 4 to 12.
Now, so even the relationship with Troy, did you feel your heart like turning more to, this is more than me just mentoring?
Yeah.
This feels like my son.
And then so when this lady says this and I do the interview and I get the job. So I got this boy in a wheelchair, stayed with him from the 6th grade till he graduated.
Was it comparable pay? Was it about the same pay?
It was about the same pay.
That's good.
And now I'm off two months for the summer. Now I go to Troy and say, Troy, I'm home in the evenings now. And you spending the night every chance I'm off. How about would you like to just live here now? So he was like, I don't know. So Holly was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So technically Holly came first.
Really?
Holly came a couple of days and before that week was out, Troy was like.
So had Holly started tagging along with y'all when you
at
in
church
Troy?
And everything.
Okay.
Cause this is what Holly said. I told Troy, because Troy would spend the night and then Sundays he would come to church with me on Sundays. So Holly was like, I told Troy to tell you I want to come to church. Okay. I said, why you didn't just ask me yourself? Because I'm coming down there to pick Troy up. Well, I thought Troy was going to tell you.
Okay.
So then Holly did ask me himself.
Okay.
So then he was like, because I want to spend the night too.
Okay.
And then we ended up having bunk beds in that room. So Troy and Holly ended up being when they would spend the night in the same bedroom. Okay. So now I'm in the school system and I go to Troy because he's the oldest. Because Troy is 12, Holly is 10.
Okay. Okay.
Holly was like, oh yeah, I'm coming. so I said, okay, let's go ask your mom. So I said, Shirley, I'm in the school system now. I'm home every night. I'm only working Monday through Fridays. Could I keep them? She was like, you want to keep them bad boys? I said, if you let me, we'll move them in, me and my mom, and we'll raise them. So Shirley was like, if that's what you want to do. So Holly came that day. Okay. Troy didn't come till like 3 days later. He was like, okay, I'm coming. So he got his stuff and he came and then he ended up staying with us. Okay, because it's a different neighborhood. Yeah. Feed into the same school. They would have been going to the same school, but different neighborhood as far as who they hanging out with. Yes. Okay. That's all. Right. And then now by now, both of them going to the same church. So Jeremiah, he's already friends with Jeremiah. Right. He's already friends with Damien. So he's going to get to see them at the same school also. Right. Right. So. And so you got Troy at 12, you said. Troy at 12, Holly at 10. Holly at 10. And what did it, because this is the other thing I know too. Visiting and living are two different things. Exactly. So now my life has changed because now I'm responsible for you. Now I don't took on this role of being this father. And so now when Bishop is talking certain things and saying certain things, I'm taking it in because I got to be able to raise them. Right. I'm this father figure. Right. Now here go another saying Bishop started saying because Troy and Holly would say, can we do this? Well, I would just say, oh, okay. Well, then if we didn't get around to doing it, I lied. Right. So now the saying is, okay, we'll see. Oh, yes. Because now that's what
Yes.
Bishop is teaching.
Yes.
We'll see. Because you don't want your kids to call you a
Right.
liar.
That's right.
Because you just starting to saying, oh, yes, we'll do it. And then stuff comes up.
Right.
So I started doing that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right. Right. So with Holly and Troy being there, because I guess a lot of times we ended up working together
Yeah.
eventually. And a lot of times you would try to mentor the boys. I'm mentoring girls. And some of them coming home with me, spending the night. None of them ever lived here except one when I adopted. But knowing that so many times parents, they're okay. Some are okay in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then there comes a point when it's like, now this is my child. Even if they don't say it, you feel kind of the pushback. But the fact that Shirley, because how many kids did Shirley have? Is it like
12?
12. But still, the fact that, because she knows you, but she don't know you.
Yeah.
But your life. And I guess the changes, her seeing how her boys wanted to spend time with you and all. But the fact that she was able to release them to you says volumes. Because that's not easy.
Because she didn't get in my way or anything. I remember Holly did something. And remember, we back in the day where, okay, you finna get a whooping. And I remember going down to Shirley's house and say, okay, Shirley, Holly did such and such. So I'm finna let you know now, I'm finna whoop him. She was like, oh, okay. Because he's living with you. She did not want, oh no, don't you whoop my child. She did not say that.
Right.
Shirley stayed out of my way. She allowed me to do the discipline.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing, they still had a relationship with their mom.
Yeah.
All the time. Still had a relationship, but you became their father.
Yeah.
And that is amazing on both parts.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you've been blessed by today's show, feel free to let us know. And if you'd like to sow into this ministry, become a sponsor, or contact us, you can reach us at 803-221-0169. Or you can email us at the ssbbshow@gmail.com. Let's continue this journey together. We need and would love to have you as a sponsor. Absolutely no gift is too small. Please note the info regarding giving and help us spread these testimonies around the world.